I'm Ian Newbold. I live in Staffordshire with my son Max. I'm a parent blogger and author of the book Parenting with Balls.
So Ian, can you tell me a little bit about your specific circumstances?
9 years ago Max was born, and then we had a pretty normal 6 months, and then unfortunately his mum passed away, so I've been looking after Max as his sort of sole carer for 8 years.
That must have been so difficult for you. I mean, I can just imagine that you're thrown into this position of being a single dad where all your expectations through the pregnancy were that you were going to share the raising of your child together. How did that challenge or change your view of parenting Max?
I think it changed how important I thought it was. Now as a parent I understand that from a child's point of view particularly, they're the most important things in the world, being on time for a party or getting to swim every week. Definitely a plus side of you being the one making the decisions. There's no conflab, there's no conflict. You've got the opportunity to be consistent.
He's really funny, he looks after me, he's really good at cooking, and he likes to build stuff.
So how did you feel being the only dad in the toddler group?
Having a child is similar to having a dog. You have something to talk about with somebody else instantly. But I would be going home to me and Max and ultimately putting him to bed relatively early. So I'd spend the rest of the evening quite often on my own.
It doesn't have to be lonely, it doesn't have to be this kind of existence where I'm on my own. Actually, you've got all of these wonderful networks that you've talked about, that you've reached out to, and networks full of other parents, and you can give mums an insight into kind of your experiencing, so everybody's learning. So you mentioned that Max is really looking forward to going off to big school.
He doesn't want to be at his small little village school anymore that's simply a classroom with a few posters with times tables on the wall. It's like dangling the toy in front of him saying you can't open it till Christmas. It's the same sort of principle, I suppose.
One of the things that you can do is really to help him prepare for that change. Some of the things that he's probably not expecting or even thinking about. So he's probably kind of thinking about going into new big rooms, having all this equipment and things like that. If you can support him in the developing of new relationships and the challenges that new relationships might bring, because lots of children when they go into secondary school end their relationships with the children that they used to have and they start to make new ones. There's going to be a time where he's probably going to be finding that difficult. So if you could have some help and advice, what would that be?
Knowing what impact sleep has on his behaviour.
So never underestimate the importance of having a really good routine, because the impact of a child not sleeping well can be huge in terms of their productivity in the day, their levels of frustration and irritability. So the first tip would be, Ian, take care of yourself. Do something for you. Tip number 2, make sure that you have a good, healthy sleep routine.